अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, मैं हूँ ज़ाइला सरदी और मैं एक स्पेशल सेगमेंट रिकॉर्ड करने आई हुई हूँ। मैं कराची में ही हूँ, डोंट वरी, अभी मैं ट्रैवल नहीं कहीं करी। इस सेगमेंट की खासियत यह है कि ये मीडिया से ताल्लुक़ रखता है, मीडिया के सारे फ़वाइद, नॉट जस्ट मीडिया बट मार्केटिंग, एडवर्टाइजिंग, कम्युनिकेशन, जितना कुछ फ़ायदा हम लोगों को होता है एज़ कॉमनर्स और बिजनेसमैन, कॉमनर्स नहीं कहूँगी वैसे मैं, एज़ रेगुलर पीपल, कस्टमर्स जो कि इंफॉर्मेशन लेने इंडस्ट्री में जाते हैं, बिजनेसमैन, पाकिस्तान और हमारी क्या स्टैंडिंग है इस वक्त दुनिया में, हमें क्या क्या फ़ायदा हो सकता है। एक ऐसी शख्सियत ने हमें ज्वाइन किया है इस वक्त जिनके पास 20 साल से ज़ायद यानी कि ओवर 2 डेकेड्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस है ऐसी इंडस्ट्री में। इनकी सक्सेस स्टोरी बहुत तवील है, इनके पास बहुत वसी एक्सपीरियंस है। हम सब कुछ जानेंगे इन्हीं से ही। हमारे साथ इस वक्त बैठे हैं जो कि CEO हैं ऑफ साउथ एशिया पैसिफिक OMD. Let's say a very warm welcome to Steve Blakeman.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well indeed, thank you.
Did you get any of it?
A few of the English words, but other than that, no, not really.
I'm really glad. Okay, before we ask you questions about your business and what you're doing, why don't you tell us something about yourself and the company you're working for right now?
Okay, well, I've been working for OMD now for 4 months, and I've been spending the last couple of months doing a tour of my region, which covers 26 offices, based in Singapore. Been travelling to Europe, been travelling to North America, meeting clients and meeting our people, and as part of that tour, that's why I'm here in Pakistan this week.
How are you liking it here?
I love it, it's fantastic, everyone's incredibly friendly.
How long have you been here?
I've actually been here for 2 days now.
The weather suiting you?
No, not at all.
Okay, tell us something about OMD. What does it stand for and what do you feel about it and why should the people know about it?
Okay, OMD as an organisation has been here in Asia for around about 12 years now. We launched our first office in Hong Kong. As I mentioned before, there's 26 offices in the region now, of which Pakistan is one of them. I was attracted to the OMD brand because they're seen as genuine innovators within the communications industry. And yeah, I like to believe that I'm a change agent, and that's one of the reasons why I think they wanted me within the organisation. So really it's a symbiotic relationship. It works for me, I think it works for OMD as well.
That's brilliant. Okay, okay, before I get to how you see Pakistan, what would you say about the media? How has that changed over the past 5 years globally and regionally? In the way you've been working in it, how do you see the changes coming across?
I think probably the biggest fundamental change over the course of the past 5 years has been the advent of digital. Although, to be honest, it's a phrase that OMD we're trying to get away from. We talk about understanding consumers and we talk about digital. Well, they don't describe it as digital. If you talk to a consumer and say, what did you do last night? They're not going to say, I watched digital television. Okay, so we need to start thinking about the language which they speak in. But certainly the advent of digital communication, I think, has changed the communication that we have. It's less these days about an advertiser shouting at a consumer, it's about having a conversation. And what digital does do for them, that technology has allowed them the opportunity to speak back to the advertisers, to tell them what they think, and to give them their opinion. And they're pretty savvy these days, actually. They want to tell you what their opinions are.
Totally, so even I want to.
Yeah, so they're using things like Twitter, they're using things like Facebook, even basic stuff like email and SMS to let companies know exactly what they think and feel.
So you feel marketing, advertising, has gained a lot from these social networks at the moment, which are operating?
Yeah, it's a delivery system. What these things have allowed us to do is give consumers a voice. They've always had a voice. We talk about social these days like it's something new. It's not. People have always been social. They now just have a communication method to speak to us through. So they utilise things like Twitter to have those conversations with us. And we should be listening to them. And actually, if there's a change that will occur in the next 5 years, I think that change will be advertisers and agencies listening more and reacting more to what consumers are actually telling them.
Oh, so it's more reactive now. So you feel the world has shrunk because of all the communication and...
It has, most definitely, yeah.
Anyway, so coming to my Pakistani audience, how do you feel Pakistan's media has evolved? You've joined this company recently, but I'm sure when you were in other organizations, did you have any links with Pakistan?
I did, yeah.
Do you feel that they've grown professionally? Have they matured? Has the media industry somewhat developed? Has it changed?
It has developed, and it's developing at an exponential rate now. Yeah, and
For the better?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the size of the population here. Yeah, you have a population of around about 180 million. Okay, you're flanked by some pretty big countries with populations of over 1 billion, and yet you're still there up with the likes of Indonesia and Vietnam. These are areas of focus for us because that's where our clients want to be. That's where they see the areas of great potential. You take out a country like Pakistan, you put that into, say, a European environment, it would be enormous.
Wow.
And it's not a saturated market. The potential here is enormous. And that's the reason why OMD are investing here in Pakistan and will continue to invest.
We're happy to welcome you with open arms. Anyway, moving on, what do you think are the major concerns of the media industry at this point in time? Be it anywhere.
I think moving into 2012, I think there's a lot of nervousness over the economy. I'm not going to mention the R word, but people will talk themselves into it if they keep saying the R word.
It just automatically springs up in your brain.
Well, I think the portents are there. You look at the situation in Europe with the economies in Greece, you look at the economy in Italy, you look at the problems with the euro, there's a US election next year as well. People are concerned, yeah, I think it's true to say.
You feel the political instability plays a role in that too, for instance, the Middle East as well?
It does, it creates nervousness in the economic marketplace.
How does that affect the media industry?
Well, it'll affect the media industry because one of the first things that tends to get cut in an economic downturn is marketing budgets. So it's how you deal with that. It's like, do you deal with it through fear or do you deal with it as an opportunity? And again, at OMD, we see that as an opportunity. Some of the best marketing campaigns ever have actually come out during those periods of economic downturn.
That's great. Okay, but a spontaneous question. When you said the marketing budgets are cut when such circumstances are faced, so in that predicament, how do you cope up? What is the survival strategy then?
Being smarter. Smarter people survive. And it's the law of evolution. We evolve, we change, and again, here at OMD, we're changing what we do. Fundamentally, and it's not cosmetic changes either. The kind of changes that we're making are all about understanding our consumers better. It's about understanding our industry better. It's about utilising data better, getting closer to our clients. All these things we're doing at OMD because we know that we have to continue to evolve. Okay,
this is becoming a very intense and very, very intellectual, I'm not going to say that actually.
That's the first time that's ever been said about me.
Oh, I made you happy. Educational, but it's very informative. I'm having a lot of fun and I have a lot of questions for you, but we have to take a very short break. Welcome back. We are in conversation with Steve Blakeman. He is enlightening us with a lot of information about marketing and procedures and communication and how important we are as clients to them. Let's continue our conversation. I hope you're not getting bored, are you?
Not at all.
Great. Okay. So the next question that I have for you is very important for people right now who are watching us probably and who want to enter this industry, who have never thought about it. What do you feel about the opportunities that are extended over to the new entrants in this industry?
Look, it's always been a tough industry to get into, but I think now more than at any other time before, the talent that we're looking for has changed. We're not looking for media people anymore. We're not looking for analytical people. It's a part of the job, but we're looking for hybrids, people with different kinds of backgrounds. And actually what I really want, and they're tough people to find, but I want people who've got genuine authenticity. They have a different opinion about our industry. It's not about media, it's not about numbers anymore. That has changed. I think that was probably true in the 80s and 90s, when I first joined the industry, but it's not necessarily true now. We're looking for people who can put themselves in other people's shoes. So to really genuinely understand consumers by trying to live their lives. And that's a real skill. Not many people have that skill. And I'm looking for a blend of someone who's part psychologist, part ethnographer, part anthropologist. Yeah, and these skills don't come easily, but it's only by being able to really understand what people are like that you can actually engage with them. Then you know the dialogue, you know how to speak to them, you know when to speak to them, and the most appropriate time to get a reaction from.
Steve, during the break we were also talking about how you also have studied psychology in order to be better in this, and it's helped you a lot, right?
Yes.
So how does it actually help you in communication?
I think, yeah, well, psychology really is about the study of human behaviour, you know, the reason why people do the things that they do. And actually, I think that's fundamental to advertising and communication. Yeah, I want to know the reasons why, you know, somebody would buy an Apple phone as opposed to a BlackBerry. Yeah, I want to understand the reasons why they'd buy a Pepsi instead of a Coca-Cola. Yeah, and there are reasons and motivations. There's reasons and motivations behind all of these things. Yeah. And we need to unlock the reasons behind them. Because once we've unlocked those, then we know how to communicate with them.
Okay, so you feel the more different sort of people, the blend of people in the industry, then you have more departments under your own organization, because you have to accommodate all these different people. How does that work?
There's different skill sets for sure. And yet we need to accommodate lots of...
So do they go through a uniform training session before they enter?
They do, and we've kind of developed a training system, you know, for OMD, which I think, you know, it's unsurpassed within the industry. You know, from the moment that people are brought into the organisation, myself included, so I came in at a fairly senior level, obviously, but my first 90 days was actually understanding the business. So I was sent on this onboarding.
So every different organization, be it in the same industry, operates in a very different way. That's what you're trying to say, right?
Indeed, yeah. And the ecosystem that I think we've developed at OMD is incredible. You know, it makes people stay. You know, the churn rates that we have within the organisation are very low indeed, because I think once people realise that actually we respect their opinion, actually we don't just respect it, we ask for it. Yeah, everyone's opinion is valuable. You know, nobody is seen as elite. You know, I will accept a conversation and a discussion with anybody within the organisation as long as they've got an idea and opinion to share. And that's what I think about authenticity. You know, I don't think I necessarily fit the bill as being a traditional CEO. You know, I came from a strategy and planning background. Did I ever really want to be a CEO? Possibly not. You know, it wasn't really an aspiration of mine.
But aren't all the success stories this unconventional?
Well, I guess it's the best strategy in the world, really. And actually that's what my boss said to me when I took the job, which is it's to shape an organisation, the strength and size of OMD, in what is arguably the most important region to OMD and every other communications agency on the planet right now.
Awesome. Okay, this is what we've discussed before as well. Obviously, I don't want to pry into your privacy and your client's privacy, but anything that you've developed recently, media insights that you're proud of or made it big, was a big success?
Well, we've had an exceptional year on two fronts. We've had an exceptional year in terms of new business. We've won $1 billion worth of new business in Asia Pacific, and we've won over 260 industry awards. Some of those from Asia, some of those which are global awards. So we've won Cannes Lions this year, which is like the advertising Oscars. And I think the reason why we've done that, and relating it back to what we were talking about before, is that, you know, we have this ecosystem. We want people to be proud of the work that they produce. It's not just simply about providing media schedules, it's about really engaging with consumers. That's why we win those awards. And one of those awards that we won, to answer your question more specifically, we had a brilliant campaign for Visa in Australia. And it was all about really getting to the reasons why people want to take cash abroad when they go on holiday, as opposed to taking a Visa card.
Visa card here would also refer to debit and credit.
Debit and credit. We were talking mainly about credit. So when they went abroad, it was a credit card that they would take with them.
What about the R word now?
We're not talking about the R word, remember, we're not talking about that. But what we wanted to do is encourage people to take the card with them instead of cash. And actually the insight that we had was really that people wanted to explore their holiday before they even left. So we gave them an opportunity to do that. So we developed an app for smartphones. We did it in conjunction with Lonely Planet. So they could research the destination that they were going to before they went and actually provide them with offers on things like restaurants and places to see, where actually it would be better to use your Visa card rather than pay cash.
So that did well.
It's won numerous awards, and I've lost count of the number of awards that it's actually won. And
we'll make you recall it at the end of the interview.
I'll try and remember before the end of the interview. But the beauty of that idea, I think, is it was a one-country idea. And this is the thing with ideas, they often start small and you explode those ideas out. That started in Australia, that's now a global idea.
That's brilliant. Okay, now something to do with Pakistan as well. Now we know OMD has been operational in Pakistan for the past 2 years, though you've recently joined it. But I'm sure you did your homework, I'm sure you're involved in it now, you're visiting Pakistan. Over the last 2 years, how do you feel Pakistan's relationship with OMD? Has it grown because of that? How has it affected the media industry here, locally?
Yeah, I mean, the business has developed incredibly well over the course of the past 2 years. We are fourth in this market, which I think is, considering that we've really only been operating as OMD in this market, is a phenomenal success. Are we happy with fourth? No. We'll continue to develop the offering, and all the things that I've spoken about to date, we'll bring those to bear. We have at a regional level, we've got lots of different strategic business units, anything from branded content through to a mobile offering. All of these strategic business units are going to be launched and developed here in Pakistan. As I said to you before, Pakistan is of strategic interest to our business. It's of strategic interest to our clients. So it's a focus. It's one of the main reasons why I'm here.
That's brilliant, and thank you so much. You've been speaking to us for quite a while, but we are still not letting you go. We have a lot more to ask you about the media industry and how the boom has affected the business all over the world, especially Pakistan. What do you see Pakistan's future in this industry? And we'll talk a little bit about your personal life, not personal life, but your career and all your awards that I was mentioning earlier in the interview. We have to take a very short break. Nazreen, Steve Blakeman हमारे साथ हैं. कहीं मत जाइएगा, बहुत कुछ अभी बाकी है. जी नाज़रीन, वेलकम बैक। हम लोग अभी भी स्टीव ब्लेकमैन के साथ ही हैं। मुझे बहुत मज़ा आ रहा है क्योंकि मुझे बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिल रहा है, जानने को मिल रहा है, और पाकिस्तान के बारे में भी मैं बहुत क्वेश्चंस करने वाली हूँ। तो जिन जिन लोगों को इसमें इंटरेस्ट है, आप लोग यहीं पे तवज्जो दीजिए। यस ब्लेकमैन, वी आर बैक. Mr. Blakeman, I would say.
Thank you.
Okay, now coming back to Pakistan, what do you see Pakistan? Actually, I can just ask that question a little later. Let me get to the boom in the media industry. It's a cliched question, but I'm sure your answering it would not make it that way. How do you feel the boom in the media industry has affected businesses locally and regionally and globally, and the communication that they have between each other?
I mean, the boom has had a tremendous effect on Asia Pacific as a whole, and the same is true here in Pakistan. What's been going on in Europe and what's been going on in North America, has not been the same over here. We have been very resilient to any kind of economic downturn, and I think that will continue to be the case. I was talking to two of our clients yesterday. I was speaking to the guys from Visa and the guys from Standard Chartered Bank, and both of them were incredibly optimistic. They weren't talking really about the economic downturn affecting their business here in Pakistan. Actually, they were talking about growth, and significant growth. Now, even some of the clients that I've been speaking to in the traditional growth markets over the course of the past 5 years, like China and India, haven't necessarily been saying that to us. I think they are concerned about what's going on in Europe. They're concerned about what's going on in North America. I didn't hear that much yesterday.
Okay, so you feel that this kind of attitude, the positive approach to the recent predicament that we're all in, you feel this will change the course and it would make an effect or an impact on the industry as a whole, or it's just the attitude?
I think partly it's attitude, and it's also the fact that you've seen tremendous growth here in Pakistan. It's set to continue. The opportunity, as we were saying before, is enormous. It's huge. You have a big population, you have lots of Western brands who want to be here, there's lots of very powerful local brands as well, they're going to continue to develop and they're going to invest. They need to continue to invest.
And they're hungry customers here.
Absolutely, yes. They're voracious.
They'll devour anything you throw at them.
They want and they demand. And, and actually we have to supply that demand for them.
So you feel meeting people here and the positive attitude, that is actually beneficial to the industry there as well as here?
It's energizing, and it's great to hear. I'm life's eternal optimist anyway. Even in an potential economic downturn, I see the potential for opportunity.
Okay, so being in Omnicom, now OMD, its presence in Pakistan, what are your future plans? Briefly, I mean, you don't have to disclose anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously I don't want to give the game away to
our
competitors. But yeah, we are continuing to invest here. Yeah, we invest in the right people. Yeah, we're taking the best of what we do in other countries and we're overlaying it here. Yeah, yesterday I had a brilliant 2-hour meeting with our team on a piece of new business, which obviously I cannot tell you about. And yeah, it was such a refreshing meeting that we had. The ideas were flowing. Yeah, it's great to see the enthusiasm and passion that the guys have got here. Yeah, they get it.
That is so good to hear. I'm sure people out there who are watching us right now, not just from Pakistan, but people who want to be a part of this industry anywhere in the world, any kind of creativity would be beneficial for this industry. That's what you're saying, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be technical or business-minded. People don't necessarily have to be business-minded.
You don't have to have a background which is media. In fact, one of the things that I've been saying to all of our CEOs recently is actually, if you've got a media background, actually you've got less of an opportunity. It's going to hold you back because we're not necessarily, we're not going to look for media people. The kind of people that we want going forward are going to be very different to the kinds of people we've been employed in the past.
Okay, now this is the last cliched question I'm going to ask you. So after that, the interview will be less boring. Anyway, so what do you feel that the overall observation of the industry, how do you feel the world in this industry is going to, grow, or how do you see the future shaping itself in media?
I was actually asked that question quite recently in another interview.
So you feel that's not a boring question?
No, it's a very, everybody's interested to know about the future. And again, you either are fearful of it or you accept it and you want to be part of it and you change and you evolve. We are very much in the latter of that. We want to change, we want to evolve. I embrace the future, I love change. So not wanting to just accept it, but to be part of it and change the conversation. Actually, you make the future for yourself to a certain extent. So it's viewing the future through a different lens. We want to be there with consumers. They're developing all the time. They're changing at a phenomenal rate, an exponential rate. We need to keep up with them and try and stay ahead of them. And that's about understanding them, about understanding technology. There's one thing which is very, very true. The future is going to be far more integrated than it's ever been before. Okay,
now let's talk a little about value chain. I want you to explain it in your own words. What you feel is value chain in the marketing, in the advertising or communication industry. How does it work?
I think for us, the value chain, the one aspect that we have is that we bring consumers to our clients. We connect them to their brands and their services. And that's one of the most important things that happens within that chain. Are we valuable as a consequence of that? Hell yeah.
Okay, now coming to the awards that you've won quite a handful of them, but 30 under 30 is a very interesting title as well. नाज़रीन, इन्होंने 30 under 30 एक award है जो ऐसा जीता है जिसके बारे में मैं चाहूँगी कि ये खुद ही बताएं. What is this 30 under 30? What was it? When did you win it?
Well, it was a while ago, I hate to say.
Doesn't show.
Thank you. I was 30 years old at the time, so I kind of just sneaked in under the wire. But this is it's what I call it, a competition. It's kind of an award, it's an accolade from Media Week magazine in the UK. And they award it to 30 people who they basically see as the future of the industry. And I was one of those 30. But interestingly, they'd been running that competition for about 4 or 5 years. I worked in Manchester, which is my hometown. And the majority of people in the past, in fact, all of them, I think it's fair to say, had always been from London. And I was the first person outside of London to get that accolade as one of the 30 under 30.
Well, late congratulations, but nonetheless,
Thank you very
your
much.
way. Okay, one more thing. This is very interesting because it caught my attention, not because there was the word Lions attached to it, but because Cannes was there. Now, this is not the film festival Cannes, but it's as big as that. You've also got the opportunity of judging Cannes Lions, and that is also on the judging panel as the Asian Marketing Effectiveness Festival of 2011, which is last year. In fact, this year, sorry, almost last year. So how was that, and what is that all about?
Judging within our industry, there's lots of different award ceremonies. I think the two that you've cited, the Cannes Lions, and that's kind of regarded as the Oscars of the industry. The Effectiveness Awards as well, they're pivotal, particularly here in Asia. You know, if the Lions is the Oscars, then maybe they're the BAFTAs. To be involved in those things, it's kind of humbling, I've got to say. Yeah, you're seeing work from some of the youngest, most talented people within the industry. And actually, the great thing that I can genuinely say, and I'm not just saying this because I work here in Asia Pacific, some of the best work that I see comes out of Asia Pacific.
Thank you so much. And हम लोग बात कर रहे थे मिस्टर स्टीव ब्लेकमैन से, बहुत कुछ सीखा, होपफुली आप लोगों ने भी बहुत कुछ सीखा होगा। इंशाल्लाह पाकिस्तान इस नई अपॉर्चुनिटी से ज़रूर तरक्की करेगा और बहुत नए लोगों को काम करने को मिलेगा। मुझे यहाँ पे करना है आप लोगों को खुदा हाफिज़।